Merhaba arkadaşlar, hepiniz IEFT Talks webinarlarına hoş geldiniz. Bugün ABD'nin en iyi teknik okulunda eğitim fırsatlarını Alanda'dan dinliyor olacağız. Yes, Amanda, the stage is yours now.
Thank you very much, Zineb. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the IEFT Talks on How STEM Graduate Programs Can Benefit You, hosted by Stevens Institute of Technology. My name is Amanda Mendez, and I am the Associate Director for the Office of Graduate Admissions. Thank you all very much for being here today. I do understand that you are all looking for a graduate program, and so our hope is that after today's presentation, you will get to learn more about what STEM graduate programs are, how they can benefit your career, and how you can find the best program for you. We have added a couple of slides which discuss previous student experiences and also why they chose STEM graduate programs, again, in hope that you could better understand the benefit of STEM graduate programs. So let's get started. So why choose a science, technology, engineering, and mathematics graduate program? Well, many of you right now at this point in time might be looking at different graduate schools, different graduate programs. You might be trying to understand what it is that you want to pursue for a graduate program. And you need to think about your future career goals. You need to think about what interests you. Where do you see yourself in industry? What type of job, position, or role do you think you can carry out in the future? And work backwards. Once you have defined what is the role that you want to pursue in industry, then you need to start looking at how you can get there. What are the programs that will give you the knowledge that you need to get there? Okay, so science, technology, engineering, mathematics graduate programs are found in many, many schools. And here are a couple of benefits as to why you would pursue a STEM graduate program. First and foremost, technology is at the core of everything we do. It's everywhere in every industry. You can see technology in the mathematics industry, in the science, engineering, business realms. Technology has been around for a long time. In the early 2000s, according to this graph here, you can see that the Microsoft company dominated the markets. By 2018, all of the top companies listed here, including Apple, Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon, dominated the markets even more. So this tells you that technology, again, is advancing. Through the years, there is the need for professionals with technology skills. And STEM graduate programs can give you the technology knowledge that you need to excel in your career. A second benefit of STEM graduate programs is that they offer transferable technical and management skills. Technical and management skills are very important in industry. Employers are looking for professionals who have both skill sets because both skill sets make a professional a well-rounded professional. Okay.
Teknik bir aksaklık yaşıyoruz, biraz beklemenizi rica edeceğiz. Arkadaşlar, Amanda'nın interneti koptu, bağlanmasını bekliyoruz. Bu sırada sorularınız varsa questions kısmından sormayı unutmayınız.
Hello, can anyone?
Yes, welcome back, Amanda.
Yes, hi, Zineb. I'm so sorry. I had no idea that I had been logged off.
It's okay, no problem.
Can you see my presentation? Do I need to share it again?
Yeah, please can you share your screen again?
Sure. Can you tell me where I left off? Because I'm not sure what was the last one that you heard.
I think it was the second page or so.
This one.
Yes, this one.
Okay, perfect. Hello, everyone, and thank you again so much. I'm so sorry I was logged off. But going back to our topic on how STEM graduate programs can benefit you, first and foremost, one of the reasons is that technology is at the core of everything we do. It is found in every industry, the mathematics, the science, engineering industry. In the early 2000s, you can see that there was only one company, Microsoft, dominating the markets. However, by the year of 2018, there were many more companies dominating, including Apple, Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon. So this tells you that technology is really dominating all industries and all fields. And there is the need for working professionals in the field of technology. So as you are thinking about what graduate program to pursue, think about what graduate program includes technology and which graduate program will give you that edge to move into industry and to be sought by employers, okay? A second reason why you should pursue a STEM graduate program is because STEM graduate programs offer you technical and management skills. Now, technical and management skills go hand in hand. Every employer is looking for professionals who have both a technical background and a management background. Why? Because again, technical and management skills allow a professional to be well-rounded, okay? Now, along with your search for a graduate program, you want to make sure that you find a program that gives you both technical and management skills and introduces you to the latest trends in a given industry. In the business world, for example, right now, age of networks, age of platforms, age of data, these are all trends that are hot in essence and that employers and industry are looking for. So you as a student want to make sure that you find a STEM graduate program that is going to introduce you to top trends in your industry and also give you technical and management skills, okay? Now, STEM graduate programs offer the opportunity to engage in groundbreaking and life-changing research. And if you want to be part of life-changing research, this is another reason why you should consider a STEM graduate program. Research is something that, just like technology, is found in every industry. Research is found in the technology business world, it is found in our science world, engineering. And the reason why it is so important is because research allows for the analysis of data. When you have data, when companies have data on something, they're able to make more informed decisions. When they have made informed decisions, what happens? A new design or a new process is implemented. And when a new process or a design is implemented, it usually generates in a new product or a new service, okay? So this is why research is so important, because ultimately, for the development of any product or any service, there needs to be research. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic is a perfect example of the importance of research in our world and of the importance of STEM graduate professionals. Think about the number of universities, organizations, agencies that are investing time and energy to understand what COVID-19 is, to understand what diagnostic tools there could be to assist with again, testing. And finally, think about the number of organizations that are currently studying to develop a vaccine, to develop treatment for COVID-19, okay? So you can clearly see that the world is in need of STEM graduate professionals for research, not just in the medical field, but in any field. And the best thing to know is that research is supported by different governments. There is an investment to ensure that research continues. Here in the US, there are grants from the National Science Foundation and private companies that show the support, again, of STEM fields on the ground. So if you want to be part of this life-changing research, again, consider a STEM graduate program, because you will be able to make a difference by engaging in any research. One last benefit, but I'm sure it's not the only benefits that you should consider for STEM graduate programs, is that STEM graduate programs really do allow students to have rewarding career opportunities. According to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, employment in STEM-related occupations was expected to grow to more than 9 million by 2022. Okay, now we are in 2021, a year away from that, And this is just a statistic to show you how in need employers and industry is in seeking STEM professionals, okay? STEM graduates are in demand. And STEM graduates are not only in demand, again, in the science or in the engineering industries, they're also in demand by the business world. According to GMAC Application Trends Survey 2019, more than 90% of Fortune Global 100 and 500 companies hired MBA talent. So this tells you, again, that not only are science and engineering programs sought out, but there are also business programs that are being sought out. So as a student looking for a graduate program, consider business STEM graduate programs, consider engineering STEM graduate programs, consider science STEM graduate programs. These are all statistics that show, again, how in need the world and our country, the US, is in terms of STEM professionals. So I want to switch gears a little bit. I've talked about the STEM, the benefits of pursuing a STEM graduate program. Now, as a student, you might be wondering, okay, I know the benefits. Now, how do I find the right program for me? Well, here are a couple of tips to share with you. And again, our hope is that you will use these tips and advice to try to find the right STEM graduate program, okay? First and foremost, again, think back to how I started the presentation. I said that as you are looking for a graduate program, one of the first things you have to do is complete a self-evaluation. Think about what it is that you want to do in your future career. What type of job, what type of role do you want to pursue? Once you have narrowed down what type of role you want to pursue, then think about the types of programs that will get you to that. And then you can start your search online and look for business programs, look for engineering programs, look for analytics programs, etc. As you are looking online on the different websites, you will find that universities have lists of programs. You will also find that they have a separate list of programs that are STEM designated. This is how you can find what programs under a university are STEM designated. So if you are in doubt, make sure that you're looking through the website very carefully. Again, there will be separate lists, one that contains a full list of graduate programs and a second list that contains the STEM designated graduate programs. And that's the list that you want to review if you know you want to pursue a STEM graduate program, okay? As an example, at Stevens, we have 3 different schools under our university. All of these programs that I've listed on this slide are part of the Schaefer School of Engineering and Science and of the School of Systems and Enterprises. And all of these programs are STEM designated programs, okay? So on our website, you will find a full list of graduate programs, and then you will find a separate list that includes these programs that are STEM designated. And this is how you want to find how there are STEM designated programs under different universities out there, okay? Now, once you have narrowed down and found the actual list of STEM graduate programs by a university, then you have to look through the programs and actually find the one that resonates with you, that you know you can use to reach your future career goals, okay? So sometimes we have students come to us and say that they want to be part of computing programs. Understand that at different universities, there are many computing programs. So you have to have a more specific outlook as to what type of computing program you want. STEM designated computing programs at Stevens include computer science, cybersecurity. We also have applied artificial intelligence. So again, they span the 3 different schools. And it is important that you have an idea of what specific program you are looking for, not just have a general category of programs, okay? Similarly, we have a School of Business, which also has STEM designated programs. The STEM designated programs are highlighted by the red border on this slide. They include Analytics MBA, Finance, Information Systems, Business Intelligence and Analytics, Financial Engineering. Those are just a few of the STEM designated programs under the School of Business at Stevens. Now, when choosing a STEM graduate program, again, you have to think about what are the skills that I am trying to obtain from this program. Here I have on one side of the slide, there is the programs that focus on technology, math, and application. On the left side, I have the programs that focus on leadership, soft skills, and organization, okay? So when students come to us and say, we're looking for a STEM graduate business program, our first question is, well, what type of skills are you looking for? What type of job are you looking to secure in the future? Based on this, we then determine, we work with the student to find out what is the best program. So, advice to take from these two slides, again, think about the STEM graduate programs that you're interested in, but more than that, think about the skill sets that you're trying to obtain from them. And then start talking to advisors from different schools, admission officers, to understand which could be the better STEM program for you, okay? Another key point about STEM graduate programs that I want to mention is that obviously with STEM graduate programs, there is curricular practical training and optional practical training opportunities. This is more commonly known as Cpt Opt Opportunities, and these two opportunities allow students, especially international students who are coming into the US and pursuing STEM graduate programs, to actually work in the US and first and foremost apply everything that they have learned in the books, but more than that, gain experience and truly see if this is the type of job and the type of role that they want to do, okay? So the fact that you are considering a STEM graduate program is also great because it will allow you to engage in Cpt and Opt opportunities, again, that are important for your work experience and for your resume, of course. Now, Cpt and Opt opportunities can vary at different universities. Some schools offer one-year STEM programs, and so you need to be very much aware about whether the program will contain practical components like Cpt and Opt. There are other schools that offer STEM graduate programs that are 1.5 years, typically 3 semesters. Usually, students in such programs can go ahead and pursue an internship, meaning a Cpt opportunity in the summer in between their 3 semesters, okay? At Stevens, we are happy to offer STEM graduate programs that are 2-year programs, typically 4 semesters, and we are happy to offer the curriculum in such a way because we do believe that you as a student will be able to engage truly in Cpt and Opt opportunities, okay? So if you come to Stevens and you pursue a STEM graduate program, you will study, take courses in the fall and the spring semester. Then you will apply for a Cpt or an internship opportunity for the summer. You will come back to Stevens to study for another fall and spring. And once you graduate, you can apply for an Opt opportunity, okay? And so generally, this type of format, this curriculum, and this time frame works very well for our students, works well for international students as well, because it gives you enough time to take courses, but it also builds in the component of industry experience. Now, another factor to keep in mind when you're looking for STEM graduate programs is location. Location really matters, and location is going to be a factor that's going to help you choose the right STEM program. Why? Because universities, there are many universities in the US, different locations, different cities, different suburbs, different areas altogether. But you need to think about location when choosing the right STEM program, because location will impact your future job opportunities. If you want to work in the city, be close to a financial industry, then you need to choose a school that is close to, say, New York City. Stevens itself is located in Hoboken, New Jersey, and we are 15 minutes away from New York City, which is the capital of finance, which is the capital of fashion, of health industries. So many important industries are located very close to the Stevens campus. And I have to say that a huge percentage of our students who choose Stevens come to Stevens because of the location, because they know that once they graduate from their STEM graduate programs, they will have the opportunity to apply what they learned in the classroom setting by participating in an internship or by participating in a full-time position, okay? So when you are thinking about STEM graduate programs, think about the location of the universities. Think about what the location will offer you once you graduate. Is there opportunity for you to find a job there? Is there opportunity there to find the job in the industry that you want to find the job, in the industry that you see yourself working in, okay? This is a very important factor, and I cannot stress enough how much you should consider this when narrowing down the list of schools that you will apply to, and when, of course, choosing and confirming attendance to a particular program. So ultimately, when you're looking for STEM graduate programs, narrow down your list by also thinking about location and what future job opportunities there will be. Another important factor when choosing the right STEM graduate program is considering services. You as a student want to make sure that you choose a school that is going to give you all the support that you need to succeed, not only academically, but also socially. You want to make sure that there are going to be academic advisors, counselors, faculty that you can approach who can help you not only to pass a particular course, but also to provide guidance on your career. At Stevens, we have different schools, as I mentioned earlier, and under each school, there are different academic counselors and advisors. And our faculty are truly invested in ensuring student success. Another reason that our current Stevens students say that they love Stevens so much is that faculty are always there for them. They have an open door policy, and they are always willing to speak and provide guidance to students. And so this is a type of environment that you as a graduate student want to look for. Because remember, you are pursuing a graduate degree with the goal of improving your career. So you want to make sure that you have all the support from faculty, from administrative staff to reach that goal. Outside of the faculty at Stevens, we have an amazing Stevens Career Center. And the Stevens Career Center is another important service for all of our graduate students. Why? Because the Career Center at any university, the ranking, the number of staff will, again, ensure your success with trying to find an internship or trying to find a full-time position. So as a prospective STEM graduate student, in your research, you also need to look for schools that are providing you support in different services in different ways. When you're researching the schools, ask about the Career Center, ask about faculty-student interactions, ask current students at that school what their experience was with these services, because services matter. And again, services will have an impact on your success in the program and have an impact on your future job opportunities. So be sure to consider that. Last but not least, infrastructure matters for any STEM graduate student, because infrastructure is going to enable you additional opportunities throughout the duration of your graduate program. By infrastructure, we mean laboratories, okay? We mean research centers. Again, STEM graduate programs allow students to conduct research. But if there are no laboratories, if there are no research centers, then how will you conduct research, right? So this is why this is another factor that you need to consider when narrowing down the list of schools and when thinking about what is the best school for you to pursue your STEM graduate program at. Ask admission officers what type of research centers are. How can I, as a graduate student, engage in research? How can I become part of a research center? At Stevens, we are happy to say that we have many research centers under each school. The picture that you're seeing on this slide is actually from our Hanneland Financial Systems Laboratory, and it is a very famous laboratory. It is known for their Bloomberg terminals. Many of our data analyst students take classes there. We have our financial engineers who sit in classes there, financial analysts as well. And again, you want to make sure that the school that you go to has and incorporates laboratories and incorporates research into the program that you are looking for. Because again, we spoke about the importance of research for STEM graduate programs. So choose a school on the basis of the type of research laboratories, the research centers that there are. Last but not least, as I mentioned in the introduction, we have received a couple of quotes from our Stevens alumni on the benefits of STEM graduate programs, which we wanted to share with you. First and foremost, I have here Andres Contreras, who graduated from a Master of Engineering in Computer Engineering back in 2014. So quite a few years ago, and he's had a very successful career since then. He's worked for companies where he was a lead software developer and also a chief technology officer. And now he's currently working at Google. So his experiences have brought him to a great company, STEM-focused company. And when we asked him why did he choose a STEM graduate program, one of the things that stuck out to me the most was that he felt that STEM graduate programs offer an opportunity to focus on what you really like after you've put in practice your undergrad education and matured professionally, okay? So this is very important because, as I mentioned earlier, a graduate program is a much more focused program, different than your undergrad, because it's meant to take your career to the next level. And so again, when you're thinking about programs, think about programs that are going to give you that additional level of focus, that additional level of knowledge that's going to take you to the next level in your career. When we asked him how he felt about how the STEM program improved his career outcomes, he said, "I was able to pursue opportunities within my graduate program's field with confidence and proof of my investment in this new career path." So again, confidence in probably abilities like technical skills, management skills, These are all the skills that can be sought from a STEM graduate program. And this is how you want to pursue your career. You want to pursue it being a well-rounded individual, okay? So listen to these quotes because, again, they're coming from students who have once decided to pursue a graduate program and have moved into their fields and have succeeded, okay? I have another quote here from a previous alum, Tashara Elizabeth Tom. She graduated from the Master of Science, Business Intelligence and Analytics in 2018. And she's currently a data analyst at Genpact. She has had a couple of experiences. When we asked her why did she choose a STEM graduate program, she said she chose a STEM graduate program because it would allow her to work with new technologies and to learn how to use them to analyze data, okay? Now remember, in one of my earlier slides, we discussed what STEM graduate programs can give you, and they can definitely introduce you to knowledge on the latest trends in a particular industry. Data is something that for the past couple of years has been a very hot topic. Every program, every student, every employer wants a professional who can focus on data, who can analyze data. And so, again, data being such a hot necessity in industry means that it will be sought by employers. It means that there will be jobs for students who pursue these programs. And more than anything, you can see that, as Tashara pointed out, you pursue a data program, and it's important that you complete the program learning new technologies and learning how to analyze data even more so. When we asked her how a STEM graduate program improved her career outcomes, she said she was able to showcase her skill set and versatility in using various programming languages and technologies. And that definitely gave her an advantage when applying to different jobs, okay? So again, there are different experiences that every student will have, but there are particular trends that you are seeing here. The transferable technical and management skills, the latest trends in the industry. And now here, according to our latest alum, Brian Brown Marty, who graduated from a Master's of Engineering and Systems Engineering in 2020, he said that he chose a graduate program because he really loved fixing things and building things. And so because he loved solving problems, STEM really helped him do this more so in his career. So you can see that, again, STEM programs incorporate the skills of various different needs of industry. When we asked Brian how a STEM program has improved his career outcomes, he said, STEM programs have improved my problem-solving skills. My classes and projects exposed to learn and gain different types of critical thinking skill sets, okay? Now, he's basically saying that the hands-on experience, of course, is very important. Problem-solving skills is also a key component of STEM graduate programs. So as you're thinking about what is your passion, what are you passionate about? What do you see yourself doing in the future? Think about what you love to do, because that will help you narrow down what type of graduate program you are looking for. And hopefully that will help you narrow down the type of STEM graduate program that is best fit for you. Okay. So in conclusion, STEM graduate programs and their benefits, the sky is the limit with STEM programs, as you can see. STEM programs will prepare you for future in-demand careers based on statistics, based on the needs of professionals in these fields. And STEM graduate programs will give you a versatile degree. It makes sense to pursue a versatile degree that will allow you to choose between employers and industries, okay? So keep all of this in mind along your search for the perfect graduate program. I do hope that this was helpful, that it gave you a general idea of how to pursue a STEM graduate program along with the benefits. And of course, that it introduced you to Stevens and what Stevens has to offer. And if you are interested in learning more about Stevens programs, STEM graduate programs, please feel free to follow this link. We have upcoming open houses, webinars, and events that you can register for. We would love to see you attend these events virtually, and we would love to connect with you to find the best STEM graduate program for you. Also, last but not least, make sure that you're following us on social media. Our office loves social media, and so we're constantly sharing all the important updates and also student stories on here. So please make sure that you're following us to learn more, again, about our programs and the success of our students. And with that, I want to go ahead and thank everyone. I'm going to turn it over to the questions. So if you bear with me one moment, I'm going to stop sharing. And I am going to return to the questions that we have on the platform here. Okay, so some questions that I see here are with regards to contact information. I have a question here of what is your email contact information? So I'm going to go ahead and type it in the chat. Let me type it here. Okay. Feel free to reach out to me. As I said, we are happy to connect with you, the students, to discuss more about what is a bright STEM graduate program for you. Okay. Now, the first question that I see here is, I know your university very well. I was many times in New Jersey. It is one of the best universities in the US. I'm highly recommended to your institute. Yes, we do have many Turkish students. Many of the Turkish students that I can think of right now off the top of my mind are currently under the School of Business. They have studied some PhD programs. They have studied some master's programs under a School of Business. If you're looking to connect with any of these students, by all means, please feel free to reach out to me. We can connect you with the schools, and we can further connect you with students who can share with you their experience. But yes, we do have many Turkish students on campus. There is another question with regards to, do you give scholarships to a philosophy department? Okay, so one thing to note is that we don't have philosophy graduate programs. We do have, again, our focus at Stevens is in STEM graduate programs, science, technology, engineering, math. We have many business programs as well. If you have a philosophy background and are now looking for a graduate program, my first question to you would be, what is it that you are thinking to do in the future? Think about that. If you are looking to go into, say, the business industry, then we can definitely help you get there because we have amazing business programs. But you first need to think about what you want to do in the future. If you know that you want to continue your path in philosophy, unfortunately at Stevens, we don't have any programs that would align with that. But if you're looking to explore other programs like business, we'd be happy to discuss with you. Okay. The next question I see here is, what is the minimum admission requirement for IB students in engineering and business? Okay, so in terms of minimum admission requirements, this is a very common question. At Stevens, for the graduate programs, students are reviewed in a holistic manner. So what this means is that we do not have a minimum GPA or GRE or GMAT score, or even TOEFL or IELTS. We have average scores. For the GPA, the average score is a 3.0. Our applicants who are admitted generally have this type of GPA. However, we have had applicants who have a lower GPA than a 3.0, but are still able to be admitted because they have a very good GRE score or a very good TOEFL or IELTS score. So because our departments and our faculty review applications in a holistic manner, this allows more flexibility with our applicants who are applying. So the admissions office will not prevent your application from moving forward if you do not have the average GPA or GRE or GMAT score. We will only have a minimum cutoff for our TOEFL or IELTS. Our TOEFL minimum is a 74. Our IELTS minimum is a 6.0. In terms of the GRE, An average GRE for an admitted student is about a 305. An average GMAT is about a 550, okay? So again, these are just a couple of numbers, but please keep in mind that, as I said, academic departments and faculty and administrative staff at Stevens review a student's eligibility for admission very holistically. So they will look at all factors. If a GPA is low, we will look at the GRE and see if the GRE is higher than average and compensates for that GPA, and vice versa, okay? The only true minimum cutoff that we have is for our English language proficiency exams, which, as I said again, the minimum TOEFL is a 74, the minimum IELTS is a 6.0. And we also are accepting Duolingo. I understand that with the current pandemic, Duolingo allows students to take the tests at home, and this is something that we are also accepting. The minimum Duolingo is 100. So if you're concerned about minimum admission requirements, the key message to take home here is that you need to go ahead and apply with as many credentials as possible and apply early, because the earlier you apply, the better it's going to be for admission eligibility. Okay. Let's see here. The next question I see is with regards to SAT and ACT. So as I mentioned earlier, I am part of the graduate admissions office, and my conversation was mostly around graduate programs. However, at Stevens, we do have undergraduate programs. We have an undergraduate office who does amazing things with their students. They work with applicants from all around the world, not only from the US. And I understand that international applicants are required the SAT and the ACT if you're interested in undergraduate programs. But again, if you are interested in this particular type of program, what I can do is you can send me an email and you can reach out to me, and I can connect you with some of my colleagues at the undergraduate admissions officers who will be able to provide more information on the undergraduate admission requirements, okay? Okay. The next question I see here is with regards to career opportunities in the US for international students after graduation. So this is a great question. And as we discussed during the presentation, STEM graduate programs allow students very fulfilling careers, and they give students the opportunity to get industry experience while they're completing their graduate programs, okay? So when students ask what are the career opportunities in the US after graduation, the first thing that I often say is that, well, it depends first and foremost on the type of program that you're pursuing. Secondly, it depends on how active, how proactive you have been to find an internship, to find a job. And it depends how well you have networked, okay? So the success of a student securing a job in the US depends on these three things. The first factor I mentioned is the type of program that you are pursuing. Now, this is the reason why before you commit to a program, you have to think very thoroughly what it is that you want to do in the future. What type of career, what type of job, what type of role do you want to have in industry? If you have a clear picture of what type of job and role you want to pursue in industry, you will have a clear understanding of what program you want to pursue. And when you have a clear understanding of what you want to do in the future, things are easier because you know what you're looking for, what you like, and what you don't like, okay? The ultimate thing here is to know what you want to do, to set your mind to it, to have a goal. When you know the type of job that you want to pursue, getting guidance from faculty, from the Career Center becomes easier because, again, they confidently will provide guidance and support to help you find an internship and a full-time position. Now, of course, the second factor I mentioned is how proactive you are. And this really depends on you. You have to put effort. You have to put time. Jobs in the US are there, but you as a student have to come with the mentality and have to come with the dedication, ready to apply to 30, 40 jobs, to update your resume 5, 10 times, to practice interviewing skills. And last but not least, I mentioned the factor of networking. Networking is huge. I cannot stress how important it is to network with your fellow classmates, with your faculty, with the administrative staff at Stevens. Our students at Stevens have had a tremendous success rate in securing jobs. But again, it has to do with these 3 factors: the program, how proactive a student is, how dedicated a student is to the job search, and last but not least, how much they have networked. No job can be handed to any student, but if you know what you want to do in the future, if you are proactive and are dedicated to the job search, and if you network, it will be easier to secure a job, okay? Now, I see another question with regards to, is there partner tech companies that we can do internships after we graduate? So yes, at Stevens, we have a great alumni network, and through our current students often are able to secure a lot of internship and even full-time positions. It is through our faculty as well that many students also secure positions. Our faculty come to us from industry, so they have work experience and they also have teaching experience, and so they are able to guide students and they are able to share what they know about industry with our students. So it definitely is a huge factor, an important factor, something that benefits our students. Our Stevens Career Center is also very well connected. They host a career fair 3 times a year where more than 80 companies come to campus. Again, our location is one factor that allows us, because we are so close to New York City, which again is the hub of so many industries, that there are many companies that come to campus to recruit our students. Okay, so in that sense, we are very well connected. And through career fairs, you as a student will have the opportunity to engage with these companies, with these employers, to practice your interviewing skills, to practice your elevator pitch, which is so often required. And again, that will enable you to start your networking and will help you hopefully secure an internship or a job after graduation. Okay, the next question that I see here is, do we have OPT option after graduation? How about duration of OPT? Okay, so if you pursue a STEM graduate at Stevens, a STEM graduate program at Stevens, you will have the opportunity to engage in OPT. And as I mentioned, OPT will vary based on the program. But if you have enrolled and have graduated from a STEM graduate program, you have the formal 1 year where you are able to work in the US as part of the program. And then if you apply for the OPT extension, I believe you have up to 2 more years to get work experience. So overall, after graduation, I understand that it's a total of 3 years of work experience that you could have through OPT, which again is a tremendous amount of time. And if you think about the amount of time that maybe you gained as work experience in your program, whether it be through research or through CPT or internships, essentially you as a student and as a professional can leave the US with numerous years of work experience. Okay, the next question I see here is, okay, with regards to affordable programs and what are the more economical options? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about tuition at Stevens. Let's talk about funding. So at Stevens, we have numerous graduate programs, as I said, and it ultimately depends on what career path you want to take. Now, generally speaking, our programs are 2 years in length. There are 30 credits or 36 credits, okay? And so if you are looking to attend Stevens for a graduate program, what we do ask is that currently our tuition and fees stand at about $18,000 per semester. So if you are attending a Stevens program, tuition at Stevens for the full year, for the full program rather, would be 18,000 times 4, roughly, okay? Now, that's just a rough estimate of what the cost at Stevens is. I know that it is a little more expensive than other universities. One, that is partly because we are a private university. Two, the tuition and fees is quite high, and I understand that this is a factor that many students have into consideration, but you also need to think about your return on investment, okay? The ROI. What is it that this degree is going to mean in the long run? What type of a career is this degree going to give you? I can tell you that our students who are not so convinced about Stevens in the beginning because of the tuition and fees and the cost of it are very happy with the outcomes after graduation, because again, their experience allows them to basically receive a return on investment on everything that they have provided from a financial aspect. So I understand that some schools in the US will be expensive, Stevens included, but think about what that school and what that degree could give you. If you see that there is a very high return on investment, well, maybe it's a risk that you have to take in order to, again, improve your career outcomes and push your career to the next level. Now, of course, we understand finances, tuition, funding is another important factor at Stevens. So we are there to assist our students from a funding perspective. We offer provost master scholarships to new incoming students. The scholarships range from $5,000 to $20,000, and they are applied to the first year of study. This is just one way that you can fund your studies. In addition to this, we have assistantships, research, and teaching that are given by the schools, by the academic departments, where you, the student, will work with a research professor, you will work with a teaching professor, and you will assist them a certain number of hours a week in exchange for a particular stipend and payment, okay? And this stipend or payment can help you and be applied towards your tuition and fees. Now, eligibility for assistantships does vary. Generally, assistantships are given to PhD students. However, there are some master students that secure an assistantship during their third or fourth semester at Stevens, and it is a way to help with their studies, okay? We also have on-campus jobs. This is another way to fund your living expenses at the very least. We have many graduate students who come to us on campus and look for a job. There are many offices, administrative offices that hire students, including our office, my office, the Office of Graduate Admissions hires about 10 students every year to assist with our administrative needs. And while payment is not extraordinary to cover all of tuition and fees, it does allow our students to cover some living expenses. Payment per graduate student assistant per hour is around $12 an hour, okay? But again, these are just some ways that we offer some funding at Stevens. If you're interested in learning more about it, definitely reach out to me, reach out to us, my office. We're happy to discuss more opportunities with you. Okay, the next question I see here is, do you offer pre-sessional English if we do not reach English language requirements? So unfortunately, we do not have an English language program. If you don't have a TOEFL of a 74, an IELTS of a 6, or a Duolingo of 100, you will need to retake the exam until you score a score higher than that. That is the minimum policy for those exams, okay? Okay, I do understand that we're a little short on time. I think our hour is about to be up. I am going to go ahead and add my email address in the chat. I see that there are definitely a few more questions that have not been answered, and I do apologize about that. But I am adding my email here. Please do reach out to me. I would love to connect with you. My colleagues at my office would definitely love to connect with you. We are happy to do everything that we can to provide guidance on STEM graduate programs, on, of course, how to fund your STEM graduate program, of course, on what Stevens has to offer and how Stevens could be a good option for you, okay? So please do not hesitate to reach out. I definitely look forward to interacting more with you, the students, and I truly thank you for being here. I hope it was an informative presentation. I hope you learned about STEM graduate programs, the benefits. I hope you learned about Stevens, and I hope it got you excited about your search for the right graduate program.
Amanda, hi. Actually, we can extend the time like 15 minutes. If you could just answer the questions quickly, it would be all right.
Oh, okay, perfect. Great. So let me go ahead and I will go back to the questions that I left off. Okay. Okay, the next question I see here is, do you have residence options? Okay, so for graduate students, housing is actually off campus. We do have housing for graduate students through Stevens, but it is in the neighborhood of Hoboken. Now, Hoboken, let me tell you a little bit about the neighboring area, is a small town. It's a walking distance. The housing that is off campus for our graduate students is about 10 minutes away from the Stevens campus. But to facilitate the commute for our students who live off campus to Stevens, there are shuttles that run throughout Hoboken and again, help students get to campus very quickly. So we don't have residence options for grad students on campus, but we do have it for students who want to be and are okay with being off campus. Now, I would say that many of our graduate students at Stevens, they look for housing on their own. They will look for apartments where they can share with 2 or 3 roommates. They will seek apartments in Hoboken and in other neighboring cities, including Union City, Weehawken, Jersey City. There's 3 neighboring cities very, very close to Hoboken. And our students will secure housing in those areas. 1, because it's a little less expensive, but 2, because it's not very far away. On a bus, it probably is 20 minutes. And again, some students actually opt to walk, which is good. And they get to campus very, very easily. So overall, there are residence options, and we definitely work with our admitted students to find the best accommodations for them through the Office of Graduate Student Life. Okay. The next question I see here is with regards to, do you offer conditional offer if I cannot get the required language level? So this is a great question. Unfortunately, we do not. Again, we need an application to have a minimum TOEFL of a 74, a minimum IELTS of a 6, or a minimum Duolingo of a 100 in order for the application to be reviewed. Okay, so if you are interested in Stevens, what I would say is prepare. Very, very important for you to study and prepare for that TOEFL, IELTS, or the Duolingo, whichever exam you are thinking to take. It is important that you prepare as soon as you can, that you plan ahead, take the exam, and do well so that we can consider your application for review and hopefully for admission. Okay. The next question I see here is, do you offer online programs? What GPA is required to be admitted to a Stevens online graduate program? Yes, we offer many, many graduate online programs. I would say that we don't offer every on-campus program online. We have more than 50 master's programs, more than 20 PhD programs, over 140 graduate certificates. This is the number of programs that we offer. Online would be probably a percentage of that. In terms of admission requirements, they are the same as that of a student applying to an on-campus program. Why? Because the Stevens online degree is the same caliber as a Stevens on-campus degree. The degree will still mean everything that an on-campus degree means, and you will still get the same resources, you will still get the same support, you will still succeed in the same way, okay? So admission requirements are still the same. We don't have a minimum GPA, we don't have a minimum GRE or GMAT. We do have a minimum English language requirement, which I mentioned before. But in terms of applying, the only difference is that you will apply and you will indicate on your application that you are interested in the online program. The requirements will be the same in terms of submitting transcripts, letters of recommendation, resume, statement of purpose, and of course the test scores. But again, the only difference is going to be that on your application, you actually say that you are pursuing the program online. Okay, I hope that was helpful. The next question I see here is the GMAT or GRE required to take graduate courses at Stevens? So yes, the GRE and the GMAT is actually required of all of our international students applying to a master's or a PhD program. However, because of the COVID pandemic, our institution has decided to go test optional. So what this means is that we are not requiring the GMAT or GRE for the spring 2021 semester or for the fall 2021 semester. So if you're interested in applying to Stevens, this is your chance to apply. If you do not have the test score, the GRE or the GMAT, that is okay. We will accept your application without it. If you have taken the GRE or the GMAT and you have scored well and you believe you have done well, then I definitely encourage you to provide us with those scores, because those scores will help you be considered for admission, but also be considered for funding, which if you want to be considered for the scholarships I mentioned, GRE is a huge component. So again, GMAT, GRE, not required for spring 2021 or fall 2021, but if you have it, it will definitely help your application while being considered for admission and for funding. Okay. Let's see here. So the next question I see is, what are the minimum requirements for scholarship for international students? So for someone who is looking for funding and of course for admission, what I would say is on average, the GRE should be around a 310, combination of verbal and quantitative. GPA should be above a 3.5 on a 4.0 scale. TOEFL should probably be close to the hundreds, if not 100 or higher. IELTS should be around a 7. Duolingo should be much higher than a 100, which is our minimum score. I will have to check on the Duolingo factor for you. Now, these are just, again, averages of what our admitted students with scholarships have had. Again, there's not to say that a student who applies to Stevens will not get a scholarship if they don't have this. No, remember, Stevens reviews applications holistically, and it depends on the applicant pool. So granting you admission and funding depends on your profile, your work experience, your goals that are outlined in the personal statement, your experience as it is shared on the resume. All of it will be reviewed very carefully, and of course, if you are admissible, you will be admitted, and if we're able to give you funding, we will also give you the scholarships, okay? But please, 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 I ask that you prepare for these exams as much as possible, because yes, they will play a huge role in funding. Okay, the next question I see here is, do I have an internship opportunity in Bloomberg? I studied economy. Which programs give me opportunity to do internship in Bloomberg? Okay, so this is great. I'm so happy to hear that you have a goal, a company in mind that you want to work with. This is amazing. What I would suggest to you is now start to think about, okay, what types of roles in Bloomberg would you like to carry out? Based on the types of roles and jobs, then work with us to find the right program. Yes, there are many students under the School of Business that go into the financial industry in New York City and do very well. But again, there is no guarantee that anyone will get a job, because as I mentioned earlier, it depends on 3 things: your program, the program you're pursuing, your effort, time and dedication, and of course, how much you are networking with your fellow faculty, classmates, and employers, okay? So there's no guarantee that you will have an internship in a particular company, but we are more than happy to provide guidance on what program you might pursue based on the role that you want to carry out in Bloomberg. So definitely connect with myself or with my colleagues at my office so that we can provide that guidance. The last question I'm seeing here is, my aim is to do an internship in the stock market. Yep. What programs give me the opportunity for an internship? Okay. So again, if you're looking to go into the stock market, the financial market, in the financial industry in general, we do have many programs under the School of Business, like financial engineering, financial analytics. We have business intelligence and analytics as well. These are 3 programs that could lead you to such roles in industry. So I definitely encourage you to take a look at both of these, actually all 3 of these programs. And based on these programs, again, if you feel that they're in line with the roles that you want to do in the future, then we can further have a discussion as to how to improve your academic profile for admission. But ultimately, I'm glad to hear, very happy to see that you have a company in mind, because that certainly is a starting point. Now think about the roles you want to do, and then based on that, we can definitely help you find the right program. Okay. So I think I have answered all the questions so far in the questions section. I know that someone else was asking for my email address, so I am typing it here. Okay. Zineb, do you see any other questions that I might need to answer, or have I covered them all?
No, Amanda, thank you very much. I think, someone is asking any deadline to apply.
Yes. So deadlines. Okay, so I mentioned that right now we still have open application for spring 2021 and for fall 2021 semesters. Now I understand that spring 2021 might be too short of a time frame, especially if you are an international student and are coming from Turkey. So perhaps the next best semester for you to apply to Stevens is the fall 2021 semester. Our preferred application deadline for fall is April 15th. Again, it's just preferred deadline because we operate on rolling admissions. And so what that means is we will accept your application after April 15th, but we cannot guarantee a decision after it. We will do our best. We will expedite the review, but we cannot guarantee it. So my recommendation to you is to submit the application soon. Do it now in February, end of February, so that you can be considered for admission and funding, and you still have plenty of time to then decide and prepare for the start of your studies, okay? So I do hope that you can take this advice. If you're not able to make the end of February, March suggestion, then again, the preferred deadline by Stevens officially is April 15th, okay? I hope this was all very helpful, and I hope I answered all of your questions as thoroughly as possible.
All right. Thank you very much, Amanda, for your presentation. We believe it was a very insightful webinar for the attendees. You put a real effort answering all of the questions. And,
great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Zineb, for your assistance today. Thank you, IEFT, for allowing us to interact with the students. And students, I really do hope that you reach out. We hope to provide guidance for you, and we hope that you can apply to Stevens.
Okay. Also, I would like to thank the participants in Turkish as well. Katıldığınız için teşekkür ederiz arkadaşlar. Stevens Institute of Technology ile ilgili diğer sorularınız için Amanda'nın paylaştığı mail adresiyle iletişime geçebilirsiniz. Aynı zamanda 6'daki Almanya webinarına da sizi davet etmek isteriz. Thank you again, Amanda. Thank you very much. It was a real pleasure to have you in IEFT Talks.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great evening, I understand.
Yes, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care. Stay safe. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.